So this is my 1000 point list of Harlequins. It includes a Death Jester with the Fate's Messenger enhancement, which lets me change a hit roll, a wound roll, or a saving throw to a 6 once per turn. This also counts as an unmodified wound roll, so it triggers sustained hits as well as devastating wounds. It's by far my most valuable unit this game, and you'll see why during the battle. I've then got two troop masters, both with 5 troops. They have a troopmaster blade and fusion pistols. Each troopmaster is in Skyweaver with their 5 troops. The troops have 2 fusion pistols, 2 Nero pistols, and 1 shuriken pistol. 4 special weapons. Then the lead player has an Eldari power sword. All groups are armed this way. Moving away from the characters, we've got another 2 units of 5 players, which are armed the same as the ones before, alongside a Void Weaver with a prismatic cannon and 2 shuriken cannons. Then got 2 units of 2 Sky Weavers, and they are all armed with haywire cannons and xenoclaves. We're using the Leviathan mission pack, got search and destroy deployment, chill and rain special mission rule, so no extra rules to worry about. Then take and hold is the primary mission. To score take and hold, you just have to be holding the objectives at the end of your command phase. I will start by saying this is not a massively competitive game. Both myself and my opponent wanted to win, however it was used more as a learning experience. My opponent was using a new detachment, and I was using just an army I'm not overly comfortable using, because I haven't used them much this edition. Anyway, on to the meat and potatoes, the actual battle. First off, I'm going to show you my fate dice. I ended up re-rolling them as my first roll was just awful. So this is what I kept. It's a nice variety of rolls I could have used, but at the same time, if I got more sixes, I would not have complained. The first couple of pictures show our deployment, both deploying pretty aggressively, but at the same time, there was not much cover in our deployment zones, so there wasn't much else we could have done. Turn 1, I didn't take many photos, but I'll do my best to explain what was going on. My opponent moved one of their rhinos all the way up to my nearest objective. Moved a rhino to the middle objective to secure deployed teleport homers. They also moved 2 Penton engines onto the center objective, 2 onto their nearest objective, and left 2 mortifiers at their home objective. On my turn 1, I moved back one of my units of Skyweavers back into my corner to score investigate signals. One unit of players came straight out of their Starweaver onto the center objective, then moved the Starweaver towards my opponent's deployment zone, and a unit of Skyweavers towards the top right objective, so I was able to score maximum points for engaging all fronts. My main man, the Death Jester, sat on my home objective with 5 players in this turn, while my Void Weaver and 5 players moved towards the Rhino on my left. Lastly, my second Star Weaver moved up the battlefield to take some pot shots at my opponent's Rhino on the center objective, but ended up doing absolutely nothing. In my shooting phase, only the players on the center objective were able to do anything, so they shot the Penton engines and managed to leave one of them with just a single wound left. They then charged the engines, finishing off one of them and leaving the other yet again on just a single wound. At the beginning of round 2, my opponent scored 10 points on primary. Acroflagants came out of the Silver Rhino and managed to kill 5 of my players as well as my Void Weaver, which scored them max points for Overwhelming Force. They scored 3 out of 5 points on engaging all fronts, as they had 3 out of 4 quarters of the board. A group of 2 Penton engines charged my Skyweavers that was on the top right, and they managed to kill them. The 2 mortifiers charged my Skyweaver, leaving it on just 2 wounds. I did end up using 2 of my fate dice to keep it alive. I used the 4 and the 5. My troop Master managed to kill the one remaining penitent engine in combat this turn. On my turn too, I also scored 10 points on primary because I'm holding 2 objectives at the moment. My second unit of players got out their Star Weaver and charged into the Rhino and managed to kill it. So I can score 5 points for area denial now. And I also score 3 points for deployed teleport homers on the center objective. During this turn, I also shoot at the Acroflagants with 1 Star Weaver, killing 3 of them. Then my boy, the Death Jester, takes his shot at them and kills the other 7, as well as taking the leader down to just a single wound left. And this is not the most impressive thing he does this game. Turn 3, my opponent scores just 5 points on primary for the Rhino. However, they do pull back their mutilators to their home objective, so they can score extend battle lines and defend stronghold. The Penton engines on the right move towards me down the right side, and they are met with my Skyweavers, which they tore through without a second thought. Now, my turn, I score Secure No Man's Land and Overwhelming Force. So I'm thinking the only objective I can take at the moment is the middle one. So I move my Star Weaver onto it. Overwhelming Force, I've got to clear the leader and the Rhino on the objective near my deployment. Now, the only models I have in range are my Star Weaver and my Death Jester. So the Star Weaver shoots and kills the leader, that's great. I've got points now. Well, I might as well have a go at the Rhino with the Death Jester. And let me tell you, this boy put in a shift. He shoots, I get 2 6s, which with sustained hits meant I had 9 wound rolls to make. And out of these 9, 6 dice were 6s, which all caused devastating wounds, meaning it just caused 12 mortal wounds and killed the Rhino. No reroll, no enhancement, no fate dice, just a Death Jester being built different. Turn 4 comes around and my opponent scores 5 on primary because they used a stratagem which puts sticky objectives on the objective that I just killed the Rhino on. They then moved up their Penton engine towards my home objective on the right side, so they score 3 points for behind enemy lines. During this turn, my group of 5 players, as well as their leader by the center objective, were killed, along with my second unit of Skyweavers. On my turn 4, I only get 5 points of primary as well for my home objective. I move my Star Weaver back into my opponent's deployment zone to score 3 points for behind enemy lines. I also score 3 points for defend stronghold. That's the boring part. My main man, the Death Jester, moves back a little so he can shoot the Penton engines near my home objective, and would you believe it, 8 mortal wounds, blast it off the battlefield like the Giga Chad he is. Now, as we move on to turn 5, my opponent scores 10 on primary and draws area denial, which I know I can't prevent them from scoring. Then Stormhold style objective, which they cannot score. So discard it into attempting target, which I choose the bottom left objective that my Star Weaver is now on, because I know they can't reach it. So the final score comes out as 67. At this point, I was at 56 points. Primary takes me up to 66. So all I need is 1 secondary and I will win the game. I'm 1 point behind. I draw Storm Hostile Objective, which I cannot do as there are 2 mutilators on it and I cannot clear them. So I draw my second one, which was Attempting Target. I cannot reach the one they chose because they chose the back right one, so I have no choice but to redraw. I managed to get Cleanse, so my Star Weaver speeds over and cleanses the objective near my deployment zone, which finishes the game 71-67, making the winner the Death Jester and his little bitches. In conclusion, I think I'll be using Death Jester in all of my Harlequin lists, purely because of how much work he put in this game. I know it won't happen every time, but at the same time, he did put in a lot of work this game, pretty much won it for me. If I hadn't have kept him at the back, a lot would have went wrong for me. Having the Penton engines would have been holding my home objective. The only things I would have had left would have been the two Skyweavers that I'd imagine would have died if the Death Jester wasn't there to kill the engines, because they are not made for taking down tanks. I think it's 3 shots, strength 6, AP -1, damage 2. So there's potential to take them, but it's definitely not reliable damage. So this is the final score sheet. As I said earlier, it ended 71-67 to the Death Jester. So a very close game, especially towards the end. If you would like to see more of my Harlequins, let me know in the comments, as I had a lot of fun playing them this game. I'd like to get a bit more experience with them, as I feel like they could be quite fun. I know they're not the most competitive army at the minute, without having a mix of some Eldari in there, a bit of Jakari, but I do have the Yanari models, so if you do want to see that, please do let me know. I've got an idea for a list or maybe a series, I don't really know yet, that I'm going to call Jakari Quinn. It's going to be as close of a mix of Jakari models and Harlequin models as I can get. So it'll be a mixture of, might have Lilith in there with a Raider and her witches. And then next to it I'll have a Starweaver with Troopmaster and his players. The Death Jester will obviously be in the list. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that. If not, the next game will be my World Eaters League game. It'll be my first one, which I'm playing on Monday. It'll be more of a competitive battle report compared to this one, so you have that to look forward to. On Wednesday, I'll be streaming over on Twitch as soon as Space Marine 2 is released, but until then, I will be streaming Destiny and helping viewers however I can. Whatever you need help with within Destiny, let me know and I'll do my best to help you. There will be a link to my Twitch as well as my Instagram in the description. Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, then thank you again. The algorithm really improves from watch time, likes, subscriptions, even comments, just any interaction. So thank you if you've done any of them, and thank you for the likes and the watch time on the last video. It massively improved after the first few hours, so that really helps the channel out. I'll be streaming as soon as this video is uploaded, so please do come say hi, ask me any questions you have, whether that's about 40k or Destiny or just whatever's on your mind. Ask me. If I can answer it, I will. And until next time, goodbye.